Who is your favorite black person of all time in U.S. history and world history? Who's your favorite black person of all time?
This week episode, we're gonna give honor to the black people in the history of the world and also in the United States of America. So I'm gonna jump right on into it. So who has been your favorite black history figure of all time, or multiple figures? In just the history of the world and also in America, or even currently. Because, as everybody knows, this is February, and in America, we celebrate Black History Month. So we want to show our respect. So with that said, let me hear you, what you got.
So, like you said, there's so many in history and currently, but I would have to say that my favorite would have to be Madam C.J. Walker. Number one, I'm a hair girly, So Madam C.J. Walker, she was a hustler. She started off going door to door selling her hair balm and all that stuff, but she found a void in black hair care. As we all know, back then, to be considered socially acceptable, black women had to wear their hair a certain way. We had to straighten our hair and all that. And so she saw that there was a need for that, and she invented the straightening comb, where you could go in and straighten your hair, bump your little curls or whatever, and go out there, looking closer to white as you can, as close as white as you could. But that's what you had to do back then. And the hustling spirit that she had led her to be put in the Guinness Book of World Records. She was the first female self-made millionaire. Not black, not first black. She was the first female self-made millionaire.
Wow, that's big.
Guinness Book of World Records. So that's huge. And then even now, we still use a pressing comb. All of us remember right before, night before Easter, you sitting there getting your hair pressed, having to hold your ear, getting your ear popped and burned so you could wear your hair straight. And, obviously after a while, relaxers came into play. So people weren't really using the straightening comb that much. But now, here we come back full circle, where natural hair is a thing again. And so a lot of women are trying to venture away from the relaxers, because we found out that they're not good for our health. So we have women who are still straight naturals, and we've come back to the straightening comb again. So after all these years, we're still using it. And so, who can't, who doesn't love that?
Yeah,
that's big for that time.
For that time, yeah.
Yeah, to hustle your way to millionaire status, that's big. So she would be number one for me.
I hear that. All right, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Bye.
All right, let's get at it, TJ. So in honor of Black History Month, we're going to give props and just, show some love to the black people in the history of America and just the history of the world. So with that said, who are some of your favorites or top favorite black person in history, or even currently? Who would that be?
Man, great question. First of all, let's start there. Yes, got to honor all the people that made it possible for us to even do what we do right now. So, and that's big for me. Let's start there. This is huge for me. I love my people. I do. We got a long way to go, but we know where we started. So, let's start there.
Yeah.
You got to go Martin Luther King,
Okay.
Malcolm X, Medgar Evers. It's just so many people that you can be proud of that stood in the gaps to make it to where we can do the things we do.
Yeah.
So I would say those three. But on a personal note, I'm gonna shock you with this one.
Okay.
I didn't find this out till the funeral. I'm gonna say my granddad, Samuel Rutledge. Black history, man. I didn't find this out till the funeral, fam.
Okay.
He was a part of the little 4 little girls that got bombed at 16th Street.
Okay.
He was a member of the church at the time, and he helped save one of the little girls. I didn't find that out till the funeral.
Oh, wow.
I knew this man just about my whole life, and it was so selfless to him it was just the next best thing to do.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So imagine finding that out at the funeral.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, he was a part of Black history that I didn't even have no idea about until I'm sitting there paying my respect at the funeral.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's huge. And another honorable mention is my grandma brother played for the Birmingham Black Barons.
Yeah, okay.
Willie Pat Patterson. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. So man, Willie Pat Patterson, much respect. He did his thing. Played with the Birmingham Black Barons, man. He part of this history, man.
He is.
Yeah.
Say your granddad's name again too.
Samuel Rutledge.
Man,
Samuel Rutledge,
that was
definitely.
big time.
Yeah,
Big
man.
time.
They
And
did their thing.
You know, I was asking Mr. Satterfield, he might not be on this episode, but I was just talking to him on the phone.
Right.
And he said all the ones, his favorites were the ones who kind of lost their lives. Because a lot of us who tried to do something to push us forward, they got killed. He was saying,
Yeah, they definitely did.
You mentioned Meggie Elliott. He was one of them. I mean,
none of them made it to see 40 years old.
Yeah, that's sad.
You know, and my guys, as a collective, the Black Panthers, you got to mention the man, what's my boy? Fred Hampton, 21 years old when they got him.
Yeah.
You know, that's young, but to have the knowledge that he had at such a young age, you know, but we was kind of forced to grow up quick back then.
You're right. He mentioned Marcus Garvey too. He
Yeah,
lost
exactly.
his life too.
Yeah,
A lot of them
lost their life early, man.
Mm-hmm.
When you doing something for your people, you don't normally get a chance to see it.
Yeah.
There
it is, man.
Yeah.
That was a great one, man. Thanks for that information, that history, because we didn't know that, especially your granddad.
Right,
man,
right.
All right, that's a wrap.
This week is dedicated to Black History Month. So the question is, who is your favorite Black figure of all time? So who is your favorite Black person in history of all time? Or it can even be current, because there's some people in our generation, in the past generation, that have done great things also, being Black people. All right, so with that said, I'm going to jump right in. So this is hard for me because Black history goes back a long time ago, right? Some people even think Black people is the originators in Africa, first people, right? Then Black people went through the African slave trade, and people came to the United States, became slaves. Then after slavery, we had the Jim Crow laws. So, to me, although we have so many great athletes and singers, dancers, performers, comedians, artists, we have so many great people, figures to choose from. But I was having a talk with Mr. Satterfield, and he's like, 92 years old. And his choices were the people who lost their lives. And when I thought about my choices, I feel like those will be some of my all-time greats, because they sacrificed for a lot of Black people to be where we are today. And if you know anything about Black history, we've come from a long way, and we've always came from the struggle. We feel like nobody likes us out of the races. Nowadays we're in a struggle with our own people, even worse than ever before. It seemed like we just hate each other. So it's just like everybody hate us. It's just like a crazy struggle, right? We just looked at real crazy. So I have to give respect to the people like Harriet Tubman. She was so fearless. A Black woman trying to free people. Well, not just trying, she was freeing people during slavery times, risking her own life. That's brave. That was brave. Of course, everybody knows Dr. Martin Luther King lost his life. Malcolm X, he lost his life. And they had different personalities. One felt like they needed to go in a more non-violent way because everybody know when we aggressive, bad gonna come from that. Being a aggressive black man in these streets, right? So you have to kind of be like, hey, hands up. We've been known to just say, put your hands up. You know, we always been known to just put your hands up. That's how we talk. Show your hands. Because any movement, they want to take us down. That's just how we feel. Some of the struggles and the thoughts that we think about and live with, especially as black men. So um, that was his approach. Malcolm's approach was more aggressive. You hit me, I'm gonna hit you back. You know. So, but the end goal was them trying to push the black community forward because we were being oppressed, like as always it seemed. So those were some big names. Marcus Garvey, he lost his life as well. So Medgar Evers, you know, a lot of these people lost their lives for the cause and the progression in the fighting for black rights and civil rights. So that's what Black history is to me. So I don't really have an all-time number one, but I have multiple black people who I feel like put their life on the line, and there's so many more that did this and they didn't get popularity. They'll never be known until you kind of know the story for real. But that happened all the time. Black people getting killed, black people getting hung on trees. That was a real thing at one point in time in the United States. So they these people were stepping up trying to fight, like, man, they doing us wrong. We already working for you, and they killing us, and they oppressing us, and they segregating us. So I definitely will have to lean towards those people who was trying to push the people forward. Great black educators, Booker T. Washington, great scientists, George Washington Carver. Man, he was so good. One of the greatest scientists of all time. And look what they did to him. He literally cut his private parts. So that's just crazy, man. But George Washington Carver, one of the greatest scientists of all time. I really feel like he should have way more than what he had. And I'm just saying, in the hierarchy of the scientists, he really contributed. And his bloodline, his family, they supposed to be paying him. He's supposed to be getting money like Ford for his contributions. Like Thomas Edison did, with the things he did, Tesla, so many other great scientists. He was a great scientist. So definitely George Washington Carver, one of my favorites. You had lawyers like Thurgood Marshall come through here early, back in the day. These guys was young, getting educated in a system that really didn't want them to be a part of it. So that was a struggle within itself. And now we're in a new struggle where we got that, then we got our own brothers, and sisters that we battling, or we got an energy towards. So despite that, this is the time where we show love and give props to the black community. It's Black History Month, Look at this. I'm Black History. You Black History. I'm Black History. So we gotta show some love. We definitely gotta do better. But look at all the great people before us who came through. They stayed focused, being oppressed, being talked about, being discriminated on, being in an unfair advantage. They stayed focused and they fought through. You know, we need to get back to those old ways of showing respect and seeing how, man, these people sacrifice their lives literally for the cause. Now we live in a time where, yeah, it's still people hate us. A lot of people don't like black people, for rightful causes, right? But we're in a time, man, you can do a lot of stuff, man. Free range, like them free range chickens. We like to buy them eggs and stuff. They said a free range. We in that state. We still in the system, but we can move around. So we're in a blessed place, man. Kingdom couldn't move around like that. I've been all over the United States, man. They couldn't move around like that. I got white friends. I got Indian friends. I got all kind of friends. Hispanic friends, definitely. I got all kind of friends. That wasn't going on 100 years ago. So it's progressions in all kind of aspects. But within us, in our culture, we just need to start recognizing black excellence because it's still going on. Still great everything. Like I told you, we excel in entertainment with our eyes closed. Athleticism, sports with our eyes closed. So I don't have no doubt that we have that juice. But I do think there's not a lot of people out there putting in the work like the people who lost their lives. So I definitely got to give them their respect, on that. So with that said, we're gonna end this week. All right, who is y'all favorite black figure of all time? Might be an athlete, might be an entertainer. I love Muhammad Ali, even though he was my time, but I like that he'll knock you out, he can win, but he also had that mouthpiece. He can entertain, he was funny. And he was talking about the black struggle. He wasn't scared to talk with those white people during that time about black issues. So he showed courageousness and braveness and boldness, as a champion, So it could be anybody, but just tell me yours. I just went down that path for more seriousness because we got a serious past. And it wasn't really easy. A lot of great poets came through. So we out. Take this time, even though it's the shortest month of the year, and give some black people some props, y'all. Get some grant money out. Do something. Help somebody. They really need to do that, though. We should be able to, if you got your paperwork like I got my paperwork, we should be able to get some grants going this month. Approve, y'all. We no longer the largest minority group. I remember when I was a little boy, they said that would happen. Now we had to read those weekly readers, and that came to pass. Shouts out to my Hispanic people and brothers and sisters. They're the largest minority group now. So hopefully we don't get lost in the sauce. Black people, let's continue to focus and just show love and continue to fight through adversity and excel. All right, I'm real out.
Questionnaires, the game of a million questions. Nothing's off limits here. We'll cover everything from what's the best food ever to do you believe in aliens? Each week the host will throw out questions, give their take, and we would love for our viewers to drop yours in the comments.